Hello and greetings everyone. Now, I get a lot of messages from younger people asking where to start studying and what to read. It's a hard question, but it's not just about reading. It's not just about watching videos. The main thing you've got to do with yourself when you get into the faith is have self-respect. Sorry, I'm just getting a coffee. Now, I'll talk about self-respect and self-discipline. How can you become the perfect person? The perfect man, the perfect husband, the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, the perfect grandfather. It's all down to two things: mental strength and spiritual strength. If you've got those two, physical strength will come to it. I was watching a program the other day about fell runners, and this one guy, I think he ran to the top of something like 5 or 6 mountains within 24 hours. He's not the strongest man in the world, but I would think in there he's one of the strongest men in the world. But he couldn't do it unless he trained. And getting up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning and going running, going training to train your body, you can't do it without mental strength. There's a lot of us who may think, well, I haven't got mental strength, how do I get it? Well, just set yourself a target and do it. Set a target like, I'm going to go to the gym every day. Now you'll find when you decide to do that, lots of things will get in your way. Your partner, your parents will want to go shopping or something like that. Or you're going to meet your mates and go to the arcade, and then that seems to be more important than the gym. Now, if you decide, I go to the arcade or go to your friends instead of the gym, that's mental weakness. You set yourself goals, you have to stick to your goals. Don't anyone change you unless you want to be changed. And if you want to be strong and good for your folk, good for your people, you're going to have to work at mental strength. Now get yourself a book. It's a good start. The Eddas. I've read the Eddas many, many times, but I've just started reading them again. I've got the prose Edda there, and I've got the poetic Edda next to it, and I will start from the beginning again. First 2 books I got. Now I've set myself a target of reading 100 pages a day. It's not a lot to some people, but my concentration is not what it used to be. So I will read 100 pages a day. I also set myself physical targets because I've put a lot of weight on over the lockdown. So my physical targets is, I've got one of these smart watch things, and I've set myself a target of doing minimum of 5,000 steps a day, which for my age and size, 5,000 steps a day is quite a lot. Now, on Sunday, I done 8,000. Yesterday, I did 7,000. I'm only going to try and do 5. But before I decided to do this, I was only doing 1.5, maybe 2,000 steps a day. And I was wondering why I was putting weight on. And then you realise, it's because I'm not doing enough. So I've set myself a target. Now, I have a lot of mental strength. So I know I will reach these targets. I know I'll do me 100 pages a day, and I know I'll do me 5,000 minimum steps a day. Now, without mental strength, you're never going to achieve anything. studying the gods. Let's you set yourself targets to sit down and study and make yourself a better person. Then you're not going to be doing the gods proud. If I had an army of 1,000 men who didn't have very strong wills, and 10 men who were very strong-willed, the army with 10 men with strong wills will win every time. Just think about that. And you can teach yourself how to be strong-willed. That's why it's called willpower. And how you're going to support your family and your friends and your folk if you haven't got the willpower. In the old days, most of our folk were farmers. And they had no choice. They had to get up, see to the animals, see to the crops, chop the wood. Then it wasn't a matter of willpower, it had to be done. Now you've got a choice. So it is down to willpower, mental strength. Set yourself a target, I'll give you a word, and you stick to that. It's important. I can't help saying this too much. Mental strength is so important. Also, what you got to remember is accept responsibility for what you do and don't give excuses. I remember many years ago, I was trying to get into some, let's call it fraternity, and I had to prove myself that I could think on my own. And one day, one of the full members came up to us. I was doing security on the door, and he says, I'm going to play darts, go get some darts. I went, okay, I'll get you some darts. And I went and asked a couple of friends, have you got any darts? No, we don't play darts. And I was about to go back and tell the member I couldn't get any darts. And another member came and told us, why can't you find any darts? I says, well, I can't, I'm just going to tell him I can't find any. He says, he didn't ask you if you can find any. He says, he asked you to get him some darts. I says, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning, no one's got any, there's no shops open. He says, and? I says, well, I can't get any darts. He says, can you not? Would you bet your life on it? And I went, well, I don't know. He says, he didn't ask what type of quality they were. He says, all he wants to do is have something to throw on the board. So I sort of got the idea there. And I went and got some twigs off a tree and made flights with leaves and spent a little bit of time. I made thread out of parts of the bark, the skin of plants. I bind the flights on, sharpened the little bits of stick, and went up to him and says, there's your darts. And he went, thank you very much. Where's my case for my darts? And I knew straight away then what I had to do. I had to go and make one. Not give excuses why I can't. I learned a lot that day. You never give excuses. So I made him a case. And then he goes, who am I going to play against? I says, I don't know. He says, well, if I have got someone to play against, they're going to need darts. So again, I went out and I done that. That shows mental strength. Because once I knew what was expected of us, not to give excuses, actions speak louder than words, that's what I done. So set yourself a target, even if it's stand on one leg for 10 minutes. Set yourself a target, stick to it. No excuses for failing. If you failed, look at why you failed. Okay, if the object was to stand on one leg for 10 minutes, and you stand on one leg and you keep falling over, you don't say, oh, I can't do it because my balance isn't very good. You'll say, right, what can I do to help you balance. Get a chair, stand next to the chair, stand on one leg. The object was to stand on one leg for 10 minutes. Just because you couldn't balance doesn't mean you couldn't do it. Then stand on that one leg for 10 minutes. It's that easy. Setting yourself a target and not letting any excuse get in your way, because life throws you excuses. Cheers. Enjoy me coffee. Can't do without me coffee. Okay, everyone. Try harder. Mind. Okay? Hail to ya. Hail here. Hail the old father. And don't forget, be safe. Toodles.